here. Something like that. Push for it. It needs leveled. So. What's this?
Virginia, and I wasn't sure what time I would be back. I was saying, you guys go ahead, and misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding. A little service, and didn't get service back for like an hour and a half, and by then they had already decided they were going to pivot to another day, and I was like, no, I can't do it that day either. Turns out that's why you stopped fucking texting. Yeah. And then the next day, that Monday, we all had stuff to do, so. Sir, you won something. Yeah, we get in here if you understand, like what I'm seeing every day. It common sense. Like there's, I mean, even I don't have personally, I don't know, right? There's shapeshifters around there.
All right, guys, what's going on? Gonna start this video off with we got the XJ in the shop. We're going to pull the motor out of this. I suspect it's got a spun bearing. The oil doesn't look very good. The other thing, it's the first time it's been up on a lift. That thing's in neutral, and that wheel, or that caliper, is just bound up. So, I mean, you can see over here, that one spins. So, we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with that one. The other three wheels are all good. So, we'll get that figured out. Not a big deal. Probably the least of our issues compared to getting the motor out of this thing. So I'm going to start by draining all the fluids out of it. And then we'll pull this front cassette off and start disassembling. I'm a filthy mess. And it's still not out, but I got to call quits for the day. Like I said, it's the day after July 4th. I got some stuff to do with my wife today. So I'm going to call quits. I just finished mopping up the shop floor. These header bolts, manifold bolts or whatever in here, are being a pain. So I'm going to have to cut that when it's stripped out on the nut thing. And I'm not even going to screw with it anymore. And then I'm going to pull the wheel well out on the other side and get that done. And then I still have the trans bell housing bolts yet to get out. And then I think the fuel line, and just check it for a couple other wires, and that should be about it. It should be ready to come out. So probably, I don't know, Monday night I'll get it all ready, and then I got something Tuesday going on, so probably Wednesday I'll pull it out and get it on the stand. I got the stand set up for it already, so get it on the stand and then just kind of go from there. So, but that's where we're at. It'll be the rest of this video, so when it picks back up, it'll be Monday. All right, what's going on, guys? I got it out. It's on the stand. I didn't film a whole lot. It was a pain to get out. For being a four-wheel drive platform, front engine facing front to back, it was a nightmare to get out. I've pulled a lot of engines out, and I mean a lot. And this is probably the most frustrating. Now, I will say, if I would have pulled it out, transmission, transfer case, and everything, it would have been probably considerably easier. And the best news is that transmission right there is going to have to come out to get it back into the vehicle. So I didn't save myself any time. I cost myself probably a lot, but I learned a valuable lesson. Hopefully it never has to come out of here again, but if it does, you pull the transmission and the transfer case with it. That said, I learned a very valuable lesson. This thing is greasy. It is just a grease ball. And I degreased this thing once already. My fingers apparently bleeding. I degreased this thing once already while it was in the car, and it is just wilting oil from everywhere. And then there's, I wouldn't be surprised if I find a hole in the block the way it's just dripping grease. But we're gonna rip into it this weekend. I wanna come down here tomorrow and try to get this transmission out, so this last little bit's done, and then I'll slide that over there with the parts that came out of this thing, and then I can just roll this thing to the back of the shop. I'll bring my nice stainless steel table in here, set that up, and just strip this motor down, to a bare block and see what's going on with it. All right, transmission's out. You can just see clean on through. I am gonna pull this. I did not realize that the skid plate holds the gas tank in on a JK. There's no straps apparently. And this is kind of rotted here. So I'm going to add to my list to replace or repair that, I guess. I'll zip that out then. Other than that, I think everything else is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's out. It's on the ground. Yeah, we're doing good with it, I guess. What's going on, guys? I was up here in my office, and I wanted to end the video with one last thing. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to be wrong with the motor when I get it apart. Everybody's curious and have a lot of opinions. I'm expecting a timing chain to be pretty sloppy, and then a bearing or two to have somewhere. Not expecting anything to be worn in
journals, but I'm expecting the bearings to be more. Well, let me know what you guys are thinking. We'll get a tour apart this week, and I'll have that video up next week on what we're expecting or what we found.